You know what? Who am I to say, that Biden isn't addled? I'm sure. Oh shit, that Donald Trump's addressing his victory as the Republican presumptive nominee. We've all been waiting to see this. I'm so excited. He didn't even bother to go out and make everybody stand in the rain outside of Mar-a-Lago as planes went overhead to say it. And he didn't go into his other little room or whatever. He just did it from the office about 8 feet from where the like classified documents were hidden amongst framed pictures in boxes in his office. Yes, this dude is literally standing. Like if the crime he had committed was murder, this asshole would be standing in the middle of the chalk outline as he does this. What happened to his red tie? He sometimes wears these when he's around. He saves those for events or whatever because it's supposedly some sort of QAnon code. Yeah, Steve Miller read it to him. It's true. He listened to the book on tape. I've never read Mein Kampf. I don't read things. I listen to books on tape. They play it in the car. They often play it to me while I'm sleeping, hoping it will absorb. And I'll just say it, and they'll go, "We said it. We." Here we go. This is yeah.
Hello, everyone. It's your favorite president speaking.
Okay, first of all, everyone is not watching. I don't know what the views on this are, but you got 505,000 followers on RSBN. There's 441 thumbs up on this and 16,000 views. So not even everyone that subscribes to the RSBN Rumble channel has watched this. So just saying. Maybe eventually everyone will. That's the idea. He will, he's assuming that in the future he'll be president again and he'll force everyone in the re-education camps to watch this. So it's for the future. In the future, everyone will watch.
Speaking to you on a really great day of victory. 1 week ago, we
Are you all right? Every possible variation of him thrusting his hips forward that I was about to make a joke on have nauseated me, so I'm gonna move on.
had something called Super Tuesday. And it was indeed super.
It was indeed super. Which part? The part where you lost Vermont, when you used to be the president of the United States and you lost Vermont amongst your own fucking party and you got like 60-40 of most of the states? Is that what was super about it? I agree.
Because we won at numbers that nobody has ever seen before.
Well, again, first of all, no. Second of all, a lot of your predecessors, Republicans especially, and including some who weren't president, in the case of like George H.W. Bush, who ran unopposed in a lot of the primaries, they won flat out. They didn't even have to have a primary. They had such a functioning party and a plan that they just ran. They just did it. They just got it. They just said, he's going to be the guy. Okay, cool. We're cool with that. Let's move on.
Records in virtually every state.
Except the ones you lost and the half that you only got 60-40.
And tonight, likewise. But this one got us over the top. The Republican National Committee has just declared us the official nominee. And so we're the official nominee of the Republican Party.
Oh, yeah, I know them. The Uniparty, right? The fuckers who can't shoot straight. They suck. They can't do anything right. And they were run by a bunch of shitheads and stuff. I mean, you just put your daughter in charge, but you basically, you became the nominee for that party before she came in, obviously. However, Ronna McDaniel's party or whatever, Ronna Romney McDaniel's party.
Which is a big deal.
Yeah. Is it? Tell us what a big deal it is. It's a big deal. It's not a big fucking deal like something like, I don't know, Obamacare, but...
But most importantly, we now have to go into victory because our country's in serious trouble. We have millions and millions.
I gotta say, this has serious, like, John Voight from his living room vibes. How the fuck... This is... I don't think people are even grasping how fucking lame and ridiculous this is. This asshole just won the nomination, barely squeaked by 60-40 in most of these states. And again, lost a couple of states to a woman of color in the modern Republican Party. Fuck you votes abound. And did he roll into a situation where there were like a 60,000 person arena to announce that he's officially the nominee even before? Remember, there's never been a movement like this. You got, again, this isn't my standard. This is his fucking standard. Right? And here he is standing like 8 feet from a fucking doily next to some grandma curtains and a picture like, remember when I had a real job? Picture over his fucking shoulder, which is, 3/5 soldiers and 1/5 him and 1/5 woman who legally is only standing there because of a prenup. In a shitty, echoey ante-room where maybe Bedminster, is that where this is? Maybe, you know what it is? Maybe he's just picked a corner of the room that looks like part of the Oval Office. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't doubt if this motherfucker stole those curtains from the Oval. Those were the old ones. They moved in, they replaced them, and then these were in a box, so they just put the box in their shit, and he ran off with some fucking Oval Office curtains. I wouldn't put that past him for 1 fucking second.
Of people flowing in. We have no respect on the world stage. What we say doesn't mean a thing anymore.
Well, that's because Republicans are blocking aid. It's not because we don't live up to shit.
And to have that happen is unthinkable.
Nothing is unthinkable. That's the power of the human brain. As a matter of fact, you'd be shocked at how a lot of us can think anything and yet not act on it. That's the thing. You can actually think something, consider it, and not just like blurt it out. It's weird. Try it.
We have an economy that outside of certain little areas is doing
certain little areas. It is literally the best economy on earth currently. Vast improvements everywhere, including the parts where like minorities are again tightening the gap in the unemployment numbers.
Very poorly. And we have something very, very important. We have a United States military that has to be taken care of.
All right. Yeah. Do we? We have something very important. We have United States military that has to be taken care of. Okay. Real quick. Imagine Pat Gray and his fucking squad of dipshits sitting around playing an interview with Jonathan Capehart interviewing Joe Biden, and Joe Biden said that. Joe Biden says this.
Certain little areas is doing very poorly, and we have something very, very important. We have a United States military that has to be taken care of. Again, this was a great day of victory. Last week was something very special, Super Tuesday. But now we have to get back to work because we have the worst president in the history of our country. His name is Joe Biden, sometimes referred to as Crooked Joe Biden, and he must be defeated.
Sometimes referred to.
Our nation is failing.
No, we're really not.
We're a nation that is in serious decline.
No, we actually aren't.
We've never had a situation like this.
Yeah, well, I would argue that is kind of true. We've never had a situation where we've got, the best unemployment numbers in 50 years. The stock market's breaking all kinds of records. Real wages are growing. They've taken inflation from 9% to 3%, looking like it's going to head towards 2.5% around the election. That's an incredible drop considering that we came out of COVID. The fact that we came out of COVID and everything's kind of back to normal. And I think the only one thing about that is that the person running against the incumbent has decided to run on this idea that everywhere outside your window is fucking rubble.
Where we're not respected, we're laughed at, we're considered almost a joke.
No, that's just you. Again, you have to understand, every time this motherfucker picks up the phone, they're already laughing. It's like, I'm gonna call Baby Orban, the Yahoo. I've got a special. Put him on the phone. Stop laughing. That's not fair. Hello. See, they're already laughing at Joe. You said it was me, and they're laughing at Joe. Are you laughing at because Joe Biden is? Quit it. I know it's funny. What's funny? That I would say no, Joe Biden. You're laughing because every time I say Joe Biden, you laugh even harder. Because you're laughing at Joe. What do you mean me saying Joe Biden makes you? Why would me saying Joe Biden make you? Get me someone else. What do you mean there is no one else? Get me Kim Jong-un. He won't laugh. He doesn't speak English. Every fucking time.
We're going to turn it around. We're going to drill, baby drill. We're going to close our borders.
Jesus Christ. We're going to turn this country around and put it on the path that Sarah Palin would have put it on.
We're going to do things like nobody's ever seen before.
Ew. I got to say, people have seen a lot of shit. I dare say, and I know I'll regret this, I dare say somebody, somewhere has, if you spread it out evenly enough, we've all collectively seen almost everything. Yeah. What are you talking about? America becoming a kleptocracy? We've never seen that. Maybe that's what you're talking about. America literally being taken over by Russia and China from within. We have not seen that, but that would be on that list.
And we're going to make our nation's economy be the best ever in the world.
It kind of is. Because again, if your economy's good when everything's good, is that really saying much? But if it's, after a recovery, if it manages to push ahead of all the world economies, that's fucking impressive. It's like the difference between somebody who is running, who's relatively healthy, always has been. That's impressive if they can run a long way. But somebody who's been in a car accident and had open heart surgery and had their legs in braces for years and they're running, that's way more impressive.
We had the best economy ever.
Well, but now we have the best economy ever. Our economy is literally better than it was then. I mean, why don't you just go back to fucking, I don't know, Nixon had the best economy ever up to that point.
A short while ago, and we're going to have that again. We're going to have people come into our country, but they're going to come in legally, and we're going to get your energy.
Which means no Muslims. Legally, I'm only going to let in hot Norwegians and Russians with a lot of spending money, maybe some Chinese, as long as they promise to leave.
Costs down by numbers that nobody would have said even possible.
What?
Economy be the best ever in the world. We had the best economy ever just a short while ago, and we're going to have that again. We're going to have people come into our country, but they're going to come in legally, and we're going to get your energy costs down by numbers that nobody would have said even possible.
Well, yeah, as long as you're buying fossil fuels. I mean, you'd have to do that through, I don't know, renewables, which is, once you get the, you get the technology caught up with the kind of maxing out its return. Oh, thank you so much, Beck, for that. Let me take on the insanity going on. Praying you're right about Biden winning. He will. Don't worry. I sat in my house and cried for 3 weeks after Trump won in 2016. It was worse than I expected then. Now God knows what may happen. Don't worry about it. He's everyone just like you who was kind of I don't know, maybe it won't be so bad on the Sarandon side. They now know better. Some of them will still vote against it because they want the whole place to burn down because they don't give a fuck about real people. But the vast majority, especially because of the way Roe went, know the consequences, know the reality now.
We have some sections of this country that are paying the highest numbers in the history of our country.
It means New Hampshire.
And among the most expensive energy anywhere in the world. And yet we have more liquid gold, I call it, under our feet than any other nation. Just 3 years
That was an edit. Jesus Christ. We don't. Technically, Venezuela has the biggest reserves.
ago, we were energy independent.
We still are, technically. The only reason we dropped below that was because we were using more fossil fuels than ever, getting things started again.
And now we're going around begging for energy.
No, we're really not. I mean, the United States, by the way, isn't buying this. Companies buy it. Companies sell it. I mean, specifically, like the oil companies trade in it for whatever its current market value is. You fucking commie.
So we're not going to have that anymore.
Okay, good. We're not going to have that. We're not going to have an open market. Like, we're not going to have a free market economy when it comes to oil and gas. Where you're gonna nationalize the oil? Is that what it is?
We're going to have a strong country. We're going to have a respected country. We have to win an election, and we should win
Yeah, we will. Don't worry.
it by a lot, because there's never been anybody worse at doing that job than Joe Biden.
Really? Even all the other people who didn't get an infrastructure bill passed or a rescue bill passed, or I would argue gun reform for the first time in fucking 30 years. He seems pretty good at embarrassing Comer and Jordan, too, while we're at it.
So we're not going to take time to celebrate.
Well, we're going to golf. What do you mean?
We'll celebrate in 8 months when the
Oh, you're right. We will.
The election is over. November 5th, I believe, will go down as the most important day in the history of our country.
Well, it'll be nice. It's not going to be. Obviously, I'm still kind of partial to the end of slavery myself, along with the actual creation of the country. There's been a lot of other dates, of course, but I got to say, no date involving you is even going to stack up, except the fact that you lose, and that's the last time we have to hear from you politically in any meaningful way, because you're not going to run again after that. It's not. We're just going to see the fucking wind down happen so goddamn quickly.
So start thinking about it.
Oh, I'm thinking about it.
Start thinking about your vote, because this vote is going to be the most important vote you've ever cast.
Mm-hmm. Tell that to Nikki Haley's voters who are going to go, I agree, and vote for Biden.
And again, for this evening and for last week and for all the weeks before, for the tremendous success we've had in this primary, I want to thank everybody.
Not everybody, just the 16,000 out of the 500,000 subscribers to this channel that watched the video.
But much more importantly, we have to get to work to beat Joe Biden, the worst administration, the worst president in the history of our country.
I think he's both. You know what I mean?
They are destroying our country, and we're not going to let that happen.
You kind of are, aren't you? I mean, he's been president for 3.5 fucking years, or 3 and change. So, 3 and a month, I guess. So you have let it happen. And if you really think about it, I got to say, I think it's your fault. I mean, if you hadn't fucked up COVID so badly, there's a very strong chance you would have actually retained the presidency, God help us. But you had to be a whiny, petulant fucking toddler. Whoops.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Fuck off. Text this and give me money. I'm broke as fuck. I couldn't afford a rally to celebrate this because of my legal bills.